So just to let you know, okay, so what we're going to do this morning is a traditional mindfulness that we've done previously. We're going to take a visit to the mountain. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is just to make sure that we're in the chair and that we have any props that we might need under our elbows or under our feet. And you can also just close down your eyes when you're ready. And just paying attention to the actual sensations of contact with the surface that you're resting on. Finding that position of stability and support. Maybe your hands are on your lap, maybe on your knees, or maybe they're to the side of you, supporting their own weight, like heavy curtains, stable and relaxed. Actually sensing into your body, so feeling your feet, legs, your hips, lower and upper body, arms, shoulders, neck, head, and just bringing any awareness as to the actual position that your body is taking up in the space. And just listening for any noises that are close to you. So allowing the body to still, sitting with a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete and whole in this very moment. And then as you sit here and you hear the noises of the room around you, possibly some noises of your skin against your clothing, or if maybe your stomach has started to rumble as you relax, digestion can relax, and that very often makes an audible noise. So wherever you find yourself, just let an image appear of the most magnificent or beautiful mountain either you know or have seen or can imagine. Just let that form in your mind. Just let that form in your mind's eye. letting it gradually come into focus. And even if it doesn't come as a visual image, allow the sense of this mountain to form, feeling its overall shape, its lofty peaks, or maybe its peak high in the sky. Maybe you can't see the very top because there's low cloud. And you just scan your eyes down to the large base of the mountain, rooted in the bedrock of the Earth's crust. Maybe it's steep, or maybe it's got gently sloping sides. But notice how imposing and massive it is, but how solid and unmoving its beauty is. And you might be observing this from far away, or you could be up close to it. And perhaps your mountain has snow covering the top, and maybe it's covered in trees reaching down to the base. Or maybe you can see jagged rocks and granite. Maybe there's a stream. Just observe it and notice its qualities. So those qualities might come to you through any of your senses. So in your mind's eye, you might actually see them in this moment, or you might feel, or you might taste fresh water, spring. Maybe there's a stream running down the mountain, or you might hear. There might be a slight change in atmospheric pressure as you hear the expanse, sense the expanse of the mountain. So when you feel ready, seeing if you can bring the mountain into your own body. So sitting, letting those qualities just begin to merge with your body, so that your body and the mountain in your mind's eye become one. So you share the massiveness, the stillness, and the majestic presence of the mountain. Your agency blends with the mountain, and you're grounded in your position, your sitting bones, and then your head becomes the lofty peaks of the mountain, supported by the rest of the body and affording a completely panoramic view. Then your shoulders and arms are the sides of the mountain. Your seat bones and your legs, the solid base, rooted to the surface underneath you, the chair or the cushion, and experiencing in your body a sense of uplifting from deep within. And remember, this is your body and your mountain. So you don't need to impose anyone else's standard. Just need to see if you can take up the invitation to relax down the sides of the mountain, down the sides of your body, down your arms. So all your corpuscles and vessels and lymph, just like the streams of water running down the side of the mountain, has that feeling of heaviness and letting go. And as you continue to merge and absorb, you just become a little bit more of a breathing mountain. Unwavering in the stillness. Just completely what you are in this moment. Beyond words, beyond thoughts, not in a metaphysical or philosophical way, but just relaxing and resting in this moment. An unmoving presence. And as you sit here, becoming aware of the sun travelling across the sky, the light and the shadows, the colours, changing virtually moment by moment against the stillness of the body, against the stillness of the mountain. And if you zoom in with your camera lens to any part of the body and mountain, you can see the surface teems with life and activity. Melting snow from the cap, so tension coming down through the neck, down the spine, down through the lower back, and just passing out into the chair. So it doesn't matter that you're not actually physically sitting on the earth. The stress and tension, the earth will just take. Gaia or Pachamama just unconditionally take this stress. And maybe there's waterfalls and plants. Maybe there's wildlife. We've just passed the summer equinox, and you can see lambs in the fields. Maybe there's some lambs running about. And as the mountain sits, seeing and feeling how night follows day, and then how day follows night. So the bright, warm sun followed by the cool night sky, studded with stars, and gradually dawning a new day. Through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in every moment, constantly changing, yet always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calming and abiding all of the changes. So in any of the seasons, the mountain might find itself enshrouded in clouds or fog, or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how this is not a good day to see the mountain. It's too cloudy, or rainy, or foggy. None of this matters to the mountain. Remains at all times its essential self. Clouds coming and going, visitors coming and going. Just the core essence of the mountain's magnificence and beauty is not changed. It just sits as you're sitting, just being itself. At times visited by violent storms, by snow, winds of unthinkable magnitude, and through it all, it sits, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on the surface, by the world's fashionable appearance. It just observes the ebb and flow. In the same way as we sit, we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same central, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that changes in our lives over seconds, over hours. It matters not. So in our lives, as in this mindfulness practice, we experience constant change. Our nature is to change mood, so there's changing of the mind, changing of the body, and of the outer world. And we all have our own periods of light and darkness, of activity and inactivity, moments of colour and moments of drabness. So by becoming the mountain, we can link up with its strength and stability, even at our most tender and vulnerable times. So just taking final few moments just to see our thoughts and our feelings, just our emotional storms, and then just to start to come back to the body, to see the body just as a vessel of function for the day, starting to drop any analogies and to feel the points of connection with the surface. So we'll start with the very top of the head and that back of the head, back of the neck, the shoulders, being supported by the chair behind us, and the whole spine leading down to the hips and the sit bones being supported by the bed or the chair underneath us, maybe the back of our thighs being a point of contact, and then the back of the knees and the back of the calves, the ankles, the heels, and lastly the feet. And then just becoming aware of the body as a whole, and maybe listening, tuning into some outside noise. Maybe wherever we are, we can hear the rain dripping on the glass. Or maybe we can hear some sounds in the room. As we start to come back, maybe as we move slightly, we can hear the surface around us creak. And we can bring some movement back in our feet first of all, feeling how our feet ground into the surface, into the shoes and the socks. Maybe we've got slippers on, or maybe if we've got bare feet we can feel the carpet, or the heels can feel the surface, and just gently opening our eyes with a downward gaze when we're ready, because they've been closed for quite a long time. So we're going to let that light in gradually. Going to let the light in gradually and take our time to come back.